So I thought you guys might really like this video, kind of like a thought process on like business models, so to speak. I'm going to talk about a few businesses here, maybe more than a few, but this isn't about like stock prices, where stock's going, when to buy, why to buy, what I'm buying, none of that. This is more like spotting great business models. And one of the easiest ways I think to spotting great business models is understanding one particular thing that all these companies have in common. Meta, Apple, Netflix, ASML, Apple Oven, Palantir, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, Adobe, TSM, Tesla, Shopify, and Spotify. And there's many more with, that would fit the criteria. But the criteria is basically this. And this is Airbnb's chart. And they do kind of fit the criteria, but their stock price has not performed. Also, they were very overvalued when they IPO'd. Now they're kind of coming into their value. Now we'll see what happens, but we'll see what happens with them. I think they're setting themselves up for accelerated growth and some other things here. But this isn't about Airbnb. This is about why I like this particular type of business model. And the business model is this. These companies, Meta, Apple, Netflix, blah, 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 have done one of two or both things, and some more, obviously. They either help companies and people make a lot of money or save them a lot of money, or both. In the case of a lot of these, both. And part of it is their networking or their ecosystem that they have built. Like when you think about let's look at ASML. And, usually we're just going to look at the charts, not because of anything other than performance over time with the stock price correlates to the value they've provided, which has shown up in the numbers of their companies, right? So here's ASML, all right? And if we back out and we back out and we back out and we back out, what do we see? It just goes up and up. And everybody who knows about ASML, right, it just goes up and up. We're 2009 here, up and up and up. Wow. All the way. So at one point it was $10. It was probably less way back here. But I wasn't even, out of grade school in 2003, right? So how am I supposed to know? Or anybody for that matter, unless you really, really knew, right? But even if you caught them here, right? Let's say you caught them in 2018. You still made a boatload, even if you're holding right now. You know what I mean? Even if you're holding right now and it's in the 700s. But what if you took out, at one of these peaks where it was like $800 something or whatever? You know what I mean? Whatever. You could have made 10x. But that's not the point. The point is this. What does ASML do? ASML creates a machine that allows a lot of other companies to make money. Maybe not a lot, but, fab companies, right? Companies that are creating billion chips, Samsung, TSMC, SK Hynix, Micron, Intel, blah, blah, blah. You get it. You get what I'm saying, right? So they have created a product that has allowed these other companies to make a ton of freaking money. All right, let's look at Meta. Let's look at Meta. I'm going to break down Meta here, right? What does Meta do for people, right? If we spread it out, right, at some point in time back in 2012 when it IPO'd, at some point in time it was as low as $17. Wow, you could have made an absolute killing. Probably if you had bought and continued buying the entire time, you may not have hit $17.48, which was the absolute low. But you might have, got $18, $19, $20, and if you just kept buying the entire time, even in this massive dip in 2022 when everybody freaked out about it, eventually you're going to be up 100x because Meta's going to go to 2,000 eventually. But why is Meta such a great business model? Well, they connect people, and they connect advertisers to buyers. Even furthermore, like for somebody like me, I sell firewood as a side hustle in the winter. And on my way home from work, I like to pick up scrap appliances and stuff like that. If it's on the way home, it can't be out of the way, or it really doesn't make sense to burn my time up. And on my way to work, there's a scrapyard right on the side of the highway. Like literally, I get off the highway, I roll in there, and I'm in and out of there like 15 minutes tops, right? And, it's extra money, either gas money or extra money to invest. And I can do that almost every day by using Facebook Marketplace, right? Like I sold $17,000 worth of firewood this winter. A lot of that went in investing. But not only that, but advertisers are meeting, customers through 3 billion active users daily on Meta's platform, right? And so when you think about that, you got to think about, like, what are they doing? What makes Meta so great? I don't know. They're created an ecosystem that allows people to make money, allows businesses to make money. And if I'm going to Facebook Marketplace to buy something that's, doesn't have to be brand new, it allowed me to save money. You get what I'm saying there? Just like Apple. Apple kind of sucks, if you ask me. I own Android, but, I don't want to get stuck and caught up in the Apple ecosystem just because the way they are. They're a terrible company. But they're a great company. Great for making money, terrible for their users. But at the same time, they're great for their users. How many people, because the iOS store, have gotten freaking rich? You know what I mean? How many apps, on Apple's ecosystem or many of Apple's products have allowed people to monetize their lives in ways that we couldn't even think of, years and years before the iPhone even came out. But and they built something that people can communicate through. Like, okay, so, and then we'll take a look what happened to Apple's price, right, over time. Wow, how about that? It was 38 cents at one point in time, way back in 2003, but when the iPhone came out and how everybody adopted it in 2008, 2009, 2010, and all that, I remember back then people were getting iPhones. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but it doesn't matter. You could have got, prices in the below $10. It's peaked at $259. You know what I mean? It's trading, it's trading in the high $239. That's where it's trading, right? But look at that. They create it in a way. Oh, dang it, I did it again. There we go. They created a way for people to make money, right? They created a way for people to communicate. They made people's lives easier. Let's take a look at Netflix. I just want to go through the examples. I'm not going to talk about their financials, even though all these things that they do to help people make money have contributed to their earnings, which made their stock price go up, right? Netflix, look at this bad boy, right? Look at this bad boy. All the way back in 2002, 30-something cents. Boom. Shakalaka. But even if you caught it in like 2008 or 2011 or something or whatever, right? Right around there. You still made a lot of money. Even if you caught it here, you still made a ton of money in 2022. And it was almost a no-brainer in 2022 to buy at those prices. You might freak out like everybody freaked out back then, right? We're never going to make any money. Think about it. Netflix created a platform, right, in which the people can be entertained. Well, as they created this platform, they drew in more and more people to subscribe to the platform, which did one thing. It drew in better actors and screenwriters and directors to come work at Netflix or work with Netflix. Why? Because there was an opportunity to reach millions of subscribers, millions of people who watch Netflix. And then because of that, it became like a snowball effect between like people getting drawn in because you had the best actors, the best shows, because you had the best actors, the screenwriters and directors. So you had the best shows, the best movies, right? Which drew in more and more people because they want to be entertained by the best, which, snowballed, and then boom, it hit the bottom line and the top line of Netflix, right? This is another company, AppLovin. Now, I've been doing some research, so I'll give you some numbers on this one, right? Because I read their 10K earlier today, and some other stuff. Look at that. Now, we're going to spread it out a little bit. We're going to spread it out. We'll just go to the 5-year, and we'll make it look like that. So AppLovin helps businesses advertise better and reach better, or better reach users who will buy products from those companies, right, that are advertising through AppLovin's platform. AppLovin serves 1 billion plus daily actives through their apps systems, and they're working into e-commerce, and there's other avenues of advertising that they're trying to work into. I want to tell you something about AppLovin becoming a cash flow machine, baby. A cash flow machine. $2.1 billion in free cash flow this last year. $2.1 billion for this company is growing insane. Last quarter, I think they grew over 40%, right? Net margins of 43.65%. Adjusted EBITDA per employee of $3 million. They aren't just, growing like a weed, putting up great revenue. $599 million in net profits in the last quarter that they announced, right? They're not just, producing numbers, but they're producing growth, and all of that is attributable to one particular thing. They're helping other companies make a lot of freaking money, right? If you can find companies that helps individuals connect and make money, that is a business model worth looking into. Now, at $525 was the stock completely overvalued, for sure. It's come back down to earth at 270. I think it hit like 257 after hours because some fuzzy panda, it didn't get into the S&P 500. Who cares? The company's market cap is somewhere. I'm not used to using this app on my computer. So I'm sure their market cap's got to be around like 80 billion or somewhere in there at this price point, right? But so they didn't make it in the S&P 500. That doesn't mean that they won't continue to create massive cash flow. They won't, their balance sheet isn't the greatest, but with the insane amounts of free cash flow coming in, is their business model disruptible? Possibly, maybe. But is there enough advertising pie out there for them to snag up tons and tons and tons of business over the course of many years? I think so. And with the migration to people being on their phones all the time, advertisers are going to spend. AppLovin's going to make a lot of money because they're allowing other companies to make a lot of money with their platform, right? Think about that. The company net profits $599 last quarter, and at the rate they're growing, we'll see $2.5 billion to nearly $3 billion in net profits. Probably around $2.5 billion in net profits this next year, which, even if there were 100 billion, would be a 40. Hold up, yeah, 4 times. Yeah, even at $100 billion market cap would be a price to earnings of 40. Right? That's not even too crazy when you think about the amount of growth that they've been having, and they're divesting their apps business, so they're actually shedding a part of the business where they kept the margins down a little bit, right? So now their margins might go from 43.65 to 45. I don't know. We'll see. I'm expecting their margins to go up, especially by listening to the last earnings call, the CEO talking about how they're really, really tight with how they manage their employees, and they don't want to up the head count, but they want to increase revenue and profits without upping the head count, and they're going to do it by automation. All right, which brings me to the next company, Palantir. Let's take a look at Palantir's chart. We all know about Palantir. If you follow Jeremy, you know about Palantir, and I don't even have to really talk about that stuff, right, too very much, but let's take a look at the stock price. Boom shakalaka, baby, right? I mean, come on. We all know it's down from its highs, but What do? They help other companies make a ton of freaking money and save a ton of money. At the end of the day, that's what they do. All right, let's take a look at Google. Okay, these are all business models that may help other people make money or save money. If you can do that at a high scale and scale it, you can make a lot of money. Look at Google here. Look at Google here, all the way back. You made a ton of freaking money on Google. If you continued to buy the entire time, you're retired on Google. Retired on it. What does Google do? It created an ecosystem for advertisers and people on YouTube and businesses to come onto their platform and their search engine to make people money. And because of their search, you can go on and you can look at all different kinds of prices and everything and different products and compare and decide what's best for you. And it helps companies make money. It helps the consumer save money or choose what they want. And it helps businesses make money, and it helps people make money on YouTube. Amazon. Let's look at Amazon. And all of this shows up on the bottom line. When a company can help other people and other businesses make and save money. And that's basically like the gist of it. I mean, look at Amazon way back in the day. Now this is, wow, post-split here, but wow. It was cheap back in the day. I'm sure Google split too, yada, yada, but you get what I'm saying. I know Google split. But take a look at that. Boom shakalaka, right? Look at that. Look at that. Huge, massive move. What does Amazon do? They allow other companies to make and save money via their cloud services. Amazon, you can sell on Amazon. You know what I mean? Amazon is just the ultimate money saver maker for people and other companies. Let's look at Nvidia. Now this is really the ultimate company maker money, because I believe that Jensen Huang said something about every GPU they sell or customers buy from them, that basically it's a 1 to 7. So every dollar you spend on an Nvidia chip, you get 7 back in revenue. And my goodness, let's just bring it here, because we didn't know that they were going to do that. We didn't know that they were going to really be about it until right in here. Anybody that knew anything right in here knew that Nvidia was going to be massive, right? And then boom shakalaka, look at that. Even if you bought right here at the bottom here, it was like post-split 11. I think it got down to 108. If I can remember, October 13th, 2022, it got down to like $108 that morning, if I can remember correctly. I'm almost positive. It was like pre-market or right after market open that happened. Why? Because I was looking at it. Too bad I didn't buy shares, because I didn't listen to earnings calls and do all the work that I needed to do. Guess what? Failed myself there, right? I could have known that they were saving people tons of money, or companies tons of money, and that they were going to make them tons and tons of extra money. So that's why Nvidia is like blasting. This is basically what I'm trying to get to you is, I just want to show you example after example of companies doing this. You know what I mean? Boom. Right? That's AMD. AMD's about to do, I wouldn't say they're going to make an Nvidia move, but they are going to save their customers tons of money, and also help them make tons of money with their GPUs. But also like gaming and stuff like that. That's a product that people just like to have, and they make really good gaming products, and, with their laptops, their Ryzen series of chips and their embedded segment and yada, yada. You guys know the dealio. Although one thing does concern me. Grok is making LPUs. And that kind of scares me a little bit. LPUs are supposed to be really good for inference. But then you got to realize that the market's so huge that it might not even matter at all. Let's take a look at another company. I just want to go through these great business models. Over time, these companies help people make money. And This is Adobe. Let's take a look at Adobe. All right. The performance has been incredible. It has been incredible. Even in 2008, 2009, you read here 40 something bucks. It went all the way to 700. You made a ton of money. Now that's only from, 2008 if you kept buying the entire time, but if you bought the bottom, let's say you didn't buy the absolute bottom. Say you bought $30. You got a 20x since then. If you had a $30 cost average or basis. If you continued to buy all the way up. Dang it, I did it again. Anyways, if you continue to buy all the way up and you just kept bought every dip, you made a ton of money. If you follow Peter Lynch's idea is you just buy every dip on great companies and you let them do what they're gonna do, you'll get rich, right? But what does Adobe do? Adobe basically helps creators make money, essentially. Businesses and all other types of things for, creation and content creation and videos and stuff like that. And that's what they do. And it reflected. They created value for the customers, what all these companies do, and they help them make money. And boom, shakalaka, winner, chicken dinner, Adobe goes to the sky, right? Let's look at TSM. We all know what Taiwan Semiconductor does. Let's take a look at their chart. Oh, look at that. How about that, right? A company that helps make money for other big companies. And they help them make a ton of money. Buy their chips. The chips that they create. The fabs that they have. The machines that they use. All of that created an ecosystem of businesses that want to come and use, their biggest customers. We could go down a list, Apple. We go down the list, NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm. You get the point, right? All these companies have made money because of Taiwan Semiconductor. Okay. What about Tesla? Oh, this is going to be one of those stocks that people are very on the sideline about. They're afraid. They don't know what's going to go on. They're worried, Elon doing all this, doing all that. But let's clarify one thing. Energy business helps people save money, helps the world, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Cars, electric, people love their cars. Some people don't like their cars. People are hating them right now. Okay. Let's just throw all the garbage arguments aside. There's one specific thing, and I know it's speculation, but is it really? The robots. The robots are going to do more than just make people money and save people money. It's going to save people time. And if you don't think that that's going to happen, that robots aren't going to be all over the place, how many years and years and years have we seen movies and all kinds of things that, talk about robots? And now the world has shifted towards robotics. We might not see it every day at work, assembly lines, all these things run on, a lot of these things, Amazon uses them. But the fact of the matter is Tesla is making an application to make everybody's lives easier at scale. So when you think about Tesla's share price now, it should go way higher. They're going to give people a lot of more than money. What is money? Why do people use money? What is so important about money? It allows people to buy their time back and buy cool shit with it. But, it allows people to buy their time back. Tesla is going to provide that through robotics and through self-driving taxi, robo-taxi, stuff like that. It's going to allow people to make money while they're making money at work or doing whatever the heck they want to do. It will save people time. And that, I think, is immeasurable in the most. All right, let's go to another great company. Shopify. How many people use their platform to make money? That's all I got to say. How many people use their platform to make money? Tons. All right, that's all you need to know. If it's a business that helps people make money that can scale, boom, it's gonna scale. Why? Because people want to make money. Businesses want to make more money. so these businesses can scale, right? And then Spotify has created an ability for, let's look at Spotify's stock price, right? Look at that over time. Boom. In the stratosphere. Why? They created an ecosystem in which artists, it's almost like Netflix, but for music and podcasts and audiobooks. These artists want their stuff on Spotify. These authors want their stuff on Spotify. These podcasters want their stuff on Spotify. Why? Because everybody's on Spotify. They make money through Spotify. Royalties on their music. Royalties on their audiobooks. And it drew in people, and because Spotify now has the best selection, people want to be on Spotify, using Spotify, paying for Spotify. Advertisers want to use Spotify. Now, their advertising isn't that great. Maybe they ought to hook up with AppLovin. But, their advertising isn't as great as it could be. But that no matter. They do one thing right. They connect people, save people money, and they allow people to make money on their platform. Allow artists, authors, podcasters, advertisers, all to make money through their platform, in which case, in turn, they become a cash flow machine. All right. Now, there's a lot of other things in common about these companies, but that's about it for this video. I told you I wasn't really going to bring up numbers a whole lot. I did bring it up with a few, like Palantir's Rule of 40 score at 81. I mean, it's just incredible. But a lot of these companies have really great gross margins on this list, and they have monetized like crazy. And I hope you really, really like this video. But that's all I got. I know it's 26 minutes in. It's kind of a long one. If you didn't stick all the way to the end, I understand. But I appreciate the views. And I hope you appreciated the video. Anyways, y'all.